Hey everyone, this is Shepard, and we are constantly getting a lot of great feedback and questions from our community. And today I'll address the best ones to benefit us all. We had a fantastic year here at Prepper Legend. We published our 2 books, created an amazing website, and started sharing all the knowledge with all of you great people in our community. We'd like to share some of the more interesting questions and feedback that we've received over this past year so everyone can benefit. Beverly shared that recently she had a scare with a little fire at her apartment building, and she was one of the only persons who had a bug-out bed that she could take with her outside. But then she shared that it was too heavy for her to carry easily on her back. So that's a great question, Beverly. We have, as a solution, we have 3 options. First, physical training. We need to train to be physically fit to be able to carry our bug-out bag. And we can start very slowly with a 20-minute walk 3 times a week. And once we are good at that, we feel good with that, we can start running 3 times a week or even more than that. And when you are comfortable running, you can start carrying weight on your back while running. That will make your entire body stronger, and it will be easier for you to carry the weight. You can start with 5 kilograms or 11 pounds in the backpack and increase the amount every week as you get comfortable with the weight. Now, the second solution is in the bug-out bag, in the gear tier system, we talked about the bug-out bag and how it has to stay around 22 pounds. But if that's too heavy, just remove the things that are not 100% essential. For example, you can remove one of the MREs. The MREs are pretty heavy. They weigh about 2 pounds each, so you can remove some of them. Or you can remove some of the extra clothing that you put in your bug-out bag. Or you can remove some of the water and be more dependent on the filters to find a water source on your way to wherever it is that you're going. The third option is a bit more complex, but it is an option nonetheless, is to add a mountain bike to your bug-out bag. And this way your mountain bike will be able to carry some of the weight. So you can have in your bug-out bag, you can have the essentials, and the extra weight can be on your mountain bike. But then you'll have to make sure that your mountain bike is secure every time you make a stop, every time you create a camp. You have to secure your mountain bike as well, so it wouldn't be taken away or stolen, obviously. Beverly also asked, what if I'm an older person and I'm alone? What can I do in a case that something happens and that a catastrophe happens? Well, Beverly, I have many family members and friends who are a bit older, and they lead a very active social life. Some of them travel the world with their groups. Some of them do some volunteer activities. It's really important to be part of a group. Now, you can join a church group, you can join a volunteer group, and where a group that each member of the group can contribute as the best to their ability. And this is the best way to be prepared for in case of a catastrophe, in case of an emergency, or in case of a SHTF situation occurs, to be part of such a group. So no matter your age, it's really important to be part of a group of like-minded individuals. Bradley asked, what do you think about becoming a nomadic or a nomadic lifestyle in case of a SHTF situation? Well, Bradley, it's a fantastic thing to consider, and actually I totally agree with you. I always recommend to start by bugging in, reinforcing your home, reinforcing your home base, your situation. But in case you decide to bug out because the area became too violent or became unsustainable to keep persisting, to keep staying there, and you have to bug out, you'll have to adopt the nomadic lifestyle for a while. Creating camps and moving every day to different locations, and eventually you'll find a location to create a more permanent campsite. But even then, you always have to remember that everything is temporary, and you must be able to leave everything behind and abandon that location in case that area becomes unsafe again. Hans wrote that a post-SHTF situation will be the end of the democratic system. Well, Hans, you are absolutely right. After a SHTF situation, we'll enter an anarchy, and it will be the WROL that we are also afraid of, the without rule of law. And after a while, people would be willing to forego a lot of their freedoms for some order and to stop the violence. And that's when a EROL, or excessive rule of law, will enter. Some sort of a local government, either military or even a criminal gang, will take over the controlling certain areas, and they will enforce an excessive rule of law. Their judgment and their justice system will be really, really harsh for anyone who is insubordinate. Now, usually these groups will be led by some sort of a dictator or a tyrant, very similar to Negan from The Walking Dead series on TV. But after a while, could be even decades, they would have to give the power back to the people and create some sort of a republic or a democracy. Otherwise, they will have a revolt on their hands, and the people will destroy the current rule and the current ruling party, and the cycle will start again to become, we will return to anarchy. Jake commented on the gear tier system that the homeless will outlive all of us without any fancy equipment. Well, Jake, we have to remember a few things. First, the homeless are dependent on the waste that society provides. Restaurants, grocery stores, and places like that. And we have to remember that to become homeless, they basically gave up joining as being a productive part of that society. Now, in a post-SHTF situation, there are no more grocery stores, there are no more restaurants, there is no more waste of society. So basically, all the things that these homeless people are dependent on to survive will be gone. Now, we have to remember that they basically lost hope to become homeless. And we all know that in a SHTF situation, hope is the number one thing that helps you survive another day. So I believe that the homeless will be the first casualties in that scenario. Mike asked, are we really going to use human excrement to create compost in a SHTF situation? Well, Mike, in normal times, we only use our organic waste from food to create compost. But in a survival situation, we'll have to use all of our resources, and that does include our human waste. Right now, professional fertilizers are made from either horse or cow dung. And in a survival situation, we're not gonna have cows or horses, because probably after a while they'll be eaten for food, and we will not have the resources to keep them maintaining them. So we'll have to use our human excrements to create compost and fertilize our plants, and then we'll eat the plants and create more excrements, and the cycle will go on and on and on. Keep in mind that this is a fantastic way to get rid of our human waste, since in most cases Sewage will not work because of the lack of electricity. Will not have the pumps to have the sewers working properly. Marshall asked, how do we get such fantastic lighting in the studio and our filming outside? Well, Marshall, first, thank you very much for the compliment. First, for the outside shooting, we are using the GoPro Hero 5, which is a fantastic sports camera. It has a great lighting feature. It takes in higher frame rates, it can boost up the lighting. For inside of the studio, we're using the Canon 70D DSLR camera and the 18 to 135 millimeter Canon lens, which are both fantastic. And we're using two LED 600 watt lamps as lighting with soft light boxes. And of course, we try to always use natural light by sitting across from an open window, which is always a fantastic addition. Gianna asked, the Prepper Legend logo looks very interesting. What does it mean? Well, thanks for the compliment, Diana. And we put a lot of thought into the Prepper Legend logo. The circle around represents safety and your home base. And the two knives back to back symbolize your team that has your back, and that you have to be strong, sharp, tough, and always aware. Just like our motto, always prepared. We want to thank you again for being part of the Prepper Legend community. Your support and encouragement is a huge part of what keeps us going. We feel lucky and blessed to be able to touch so many souls in the world, and we're planning to keep bringing more great content and to keep building this great community. If you're ever wondering about anything or want to comment, keep in mind that many other people are wondering the same thing. So don't be shy, share, and be part of the dialogue and be an active part of this great community. Do you have any burning question or comment you want to share? Write a comment below, and I love getting feedback from you. I read each and every one of your comments. If you liked this video and you like to being part of this community, share, like, and subscribe to our channel and help us spread the word. Coming up, climbing up or down a wall using a rope is a very tedious task. It requires great fitness to only use your hands or your feet. In the next video, we're going to learn how to use our core and EDC gear to do that very, very easily. I can't wait to share all of this with you. So until then, stay safe.